Do you love the game? To preserve it, you must follow the FIBA Code of Conduct at all times, which means betting on basketball is strictly forbidden. Asking family or friends to bet for you is not allowed either. You must never improperly influence results or incidents within a game, no matter how small, or engage in corrupt conduct by either giving or receiving a bribe. Never share inside information with anyone who could use it for betting. FIBA closely monitors betting markets. It has eyes on any suspicious activity, sending investigators to interview players and gather evidence every time there is a suspicion of match fixing. Remember, as a professional, your behavior matters, especially in the way you treat your teammates, fellow players, staff, and others outside the game. Abuse, whether physical, psychological, or sexual, is strictly prohibited. The way you behave away from the court is equally important. Any action that risks damaging the reputation of the game can be sanctioned by FIBA too. And if you witness an actual or even potential violation, you must report it to FIBA immediately or risk receiving a sanction yourself. You can carry out this duty anonymously using the reporting tool on the FIBA website. The integrity of our sport is at stake, so you have the obligation to cooperate fully with any investigation into a possible infringement. This includes handing over your phone, personal devices, and any financial records requested. Failure to cooperate will result in a suspension. Breaking any of these rules could get you a 100,000 Swiss franc fine and a lifetime ban from the sport. Even attempting to break a rule could land you in trouble. Above all, play with respect, reject corruption, gambling, and all other dangers to the sport, and use basketball to make a better world. This is our game. Play it straight.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry. The Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus Only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now.
No worries, dahil Only ang saya will TNT saya all. May Only FB, Only IG, Only Messenger, Only TikTok, Only ML, Only Chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
We started ang family business talaga namin. Talaga sari-sari store ang negosyo namin. So sa sari-sari store namin, same building, meron kaming on the side na dress shop. Yan ang sabi ni Mama. Dress shop, hindi pa to sports. I mean, nagagawa lang kami, nagre-repair lang kami ng mga damit. From there, may pumunta sa kanyang friend or client na nagpagawa ng parang how many pieces of t-shirts. So from there, yung makina niya, kaya naman gawin yung shirt, doon na nag-start yung paggawa niya ng uniforms. Kung paano yung sinimulan ni Mama, siguro yun pa rin naman yung nararamdaman namin. Pero in a different perspective na. Talagang pag nanood ngayon tayo ng TV, when we watch yung different sports, kunyari nanood tayo ng basketball, makikita natin yung PBA. Pag nanood tayo ng volleyball, makikita natin yung LGR. Iba na yung pakiramdam na yung brand is overall, nakikita na lahat.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
My future.
Right? What's a plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Do you love the game? To preserve it, you must follow the FIBA Code of Conduct at all times, which means betting on basketball is strictly forbidden. Asking family or friends to bet for you is not allowed either. You must never improperly influence results or incidents within a game, no matter how small, or engage in corrupt conduct by either giving or receiving a bribe. Never share inside information with anyone who could use it for betting. FIBA closely monitors betting markets. It has eyes on any suspicious activity, sending investigators to interview players and gather evidence every time there is a suspicion of match fixing. Remember, as a professional, your behavior matters, especially in the way you treat your teammates, fellow players, staff, and others outside the game. Abuse, whether physical, psychological, or sexual, is strictly prohibited. The way you behave away from the court is equally important. Any action that risks damaging the reputation of the game can be sanctioned by FIBA too. And if you witness an actual or even potential violation, you must report it to FIBA immediately or risk receiving a sanction yourself. You can carry out this duty anonymously using the reporting tool on the FIBA website. The integrity of our sport is at stake, so you have the obligation to cooperate fully with any investigation into a possible infringement. This includes handing over your phone, personal devices, and any financial records requested. Failure to cooperate will result in a suspension. Breaking any of these rules could get you a 100,000 Swiss franc fine and a lifetime ban from the sport. Even attempting to break a rule could land you in trouble. Above all, play with respect, reject corruption, gambling, and all other dangers to the sport, and use basketball to make a better world. This is our game. Play it straight.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry. Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
No worries dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only Chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
We started ang family business talaga namin. Talaga sari-sari store ang negosyo namin. So sa sari-sari store namin, same building, meron kaming on the side na dress shop. Yan ang sabi ni Mama. Dress shop, hindi pa to sports. I mean, nagagawa lang kami, nagre-repair lang kami ng mga damit. From there, may pumunta sa kanyang friend or client na nagpagawa ng parang how many pieces of t-shirts. So from there, yung makina niya, kaya naman gawin yung shirt, doon na nag-start yung paggawa niya ng uniforms. Kung paano yung sinimulan ni Mama, siguro yun pa rin naman yung nararamdaman namin. Pero in a different perspective na. Talagang pag nanood ngayon tayo ng TV, when we watch yung different sports, kunyari nanood tayo ng basketball, makikita natin yung PBA. Pag nanood tayo ng volleyball, makikita natin yung LGR. Iba na yung pakiramdam na yung brand is overall, nakikita na lahat.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Do you love the game? To preserve it, you must follow the FIBA Code of Conduct at all times, which means betting on basketball is strictly forbidden. Asking family or friends to bet for you is not allowed either. You must never improperly influence results or incidents within a game, no matter how small, or engage in corrupt conduct by either giving or receiving a bribe. Never share inside information with anyone who could use it for betting. FIBA closely monitors betting markets. It has eyes on any suspicious activity, sending investigators to interview players and gather evidence every time there is a suspicion of match fixing. Remember, as a professional, your behavior matters, especially in the way you treat your teammates, fellow players, staff, and others outside the game. Abuse, whether physical, psychological, or sexual, is strictly prohibited. The way you behave away from the court is equally important. Any action that risks damaging the reputation of the game can be sanctioned by FIBA too. And if you witness an actual or even potential violation, you must report it to FIBA immediately or risk receiving a sanction yourself. You can carry out this duty anonymously using the reporting tool on the FIBA website. The integrity of our sport is at stake, so you have the obligation to cooperate fully with any investigation into a possible infringement. This includes handing over your phone, personal devices, and any financial records requested. Failure to cooperate will result in a suspension. Breaking any of these rules could get you a 100,000 Swiss franc fine and a lifetime ban from the sport. Even attempting to break a rule could land you in trouble. Above all, play with respect, reject corruption, gambling, and all other dangers to the sport, and use basketball to make a better world. This is our game. Play it straight.
Two teams from two different leagues, one ticket to the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup Season 4 Finals. Both of these teams ready to battle it out here in the ENDERUN Titan Gym in the city of Taguig. Magandang hapon mga kaliga. Ako po si Justin Alfonso, joined by Coach Russell Raipon. Coach, how excited are you to see both of these gritty teams battle it out?
Well, you know, there's nothing that cures the blues of a cloudy sky like being in a gym and watching two very skilled teams compete. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a fun matchup as we take a look at the two teams battling it out here today. It's going to be tenacity and intensity that will win this ball game between the NU Bulldogs and the RIZAL University Heavy Bombers. Coach, what do you think of our theme of the game today?
I think it's very appropriate. It's very apt given the fact that you know, you look at a team like NU, they are just so conditioned to play with a level of intensity and urgency that always keeps them in games. And then on the flip side, you're looking at a JRU team that has incredible chemistry, and they are nonstop. They play with a reckless abandon and the sort of sixth sense of where everyone they know where everyone is on the floor, and they just make plays happen.
And where Adamson is waiting for one of both of these teams as we take at the updated bracket. As we can see, Adamson Soaring Falcons waiting in the finals, and now it's going to be between the NU Bulldogs and the JRU Heavy Bombers. And Coach, you know, it took a lot for NU to get to this point, and we've seen them play really well. So let's take a look at what games got them here today to go against JRU in this semifinals bracket. And one of the biggest games that they played was against the UP Team 2. But let's take a look at the first game first, Coach.
Well, you know, coming into the end of group play, they were able to get a very sound victory over the Pikemen. With Jumamoy, you know, he's one of my favorite players. Just an all-around game with 16 points, 4 rebounds. You know, and then you look at their quarterfinals game versus UP. I think a surprise for everybody, given just the kind of firepower that the Fighting Maroons have. I think you saw a team with a lot of veterans, especially in Figueroa, who was able to really imprint his stamp on the game with 23 points and 8 rebounds, 2 assists and 3 steals.
Now, you know, let's take a look at the journey JRU took to get to this point, as they've been playing really, really well this whole season.
Well, you know, 2 quarterfinals games, and you can see here on the screen that Sean Argente, was the stellar player in both games. You know, first game with 31 points, second game with 15 points, a little bit more of a even game. But you look at their ability to bounce back, having lost to UST in the quarterfinals game 1, and then being able to regroup and get themselves together and eke out a 2-point win against a very sound and talented UST team.
You know, I covered that first game between JRU and UST, and it was a back and forth action. And you know, JRU did everything they can, but UST just had the upper hand. But now let's take a look at the NU Bulldogs' keys to the games and key players to see if they could move on and get that finals ticket here in the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup.
Well, you know, you can see that NU has really taken this preseason very seriously, and they're priming themselves for a run in the UAP. You have players like Francisco and Luxin. You know, they have historically had great wing and guard play, so I think that continues with the likes of Francisco and Luxin. You know, the keys to winning, obviously, even though NU has a size advantage, you know, you really have to look at the keys of being the guards. Steve Nash Enriquez, you have Jumamoy. These guys propel the offense, keep them organized. So their job as a group is to not allow JRU to get any confidence. You know, they can get on a streak, on a run early, and you will have to find a way to sort of quell that. And that will be keyed in by their staunch defense.
You know, we talked about NU and the key players that we just talked about, Francisco and Luxin, but now let's take a look at the two players that we will be watching in today's semifinals player matchup. Coach.
Well, you know, you have the players that have made themselves commodities in these past, you know, 2 games leading up to the semifinals. Figueroa and Argente. Figueroa is a wing player, sort of a bruising player, can score from 3 levels. And then you have Argente, who's just, you know, he is fearless. He can get into the paint. He can definitely shoot. He's active in the passing lanes and puts pressure defensively on the opposing guards. So right now you have to look at how the game starts, I think, and then, you know, that will tell us where each of these players are in terms of their ability to make an impact on the game.
So we talked about both of these players can make big impacts in today's game. Now let's take a look at the RIZAL University Heavy Bombers and what they need to do to get a W here today.
Well, you know, you look at their lineup. It starts, I think, with Peñaverde. I mean, he has been stellar the entire league, the entire tournament. He is turning out to be one of the best guards in the country just by his sheer force of will and his ability to score. I think his energy is infectious, just like Lozano. Lozano is more of an interior player, but he is a type of guy who brings a lot of energy, gets you second chance points, does the little things that help teams win. And Pangilinan, you know, if there's anything that JRU has proven is that they can get hot from the outside. So Pangilinan is one of those guys that, you know, give him some daylight and he starts shooting. He sees that ball go in the hoop. It could be problems for NU. Their ability is to be able to put pressure, right, and contain the guards, I think, of NU and make it their pace of game. I think it becomes, you know, they have a great chance to pull it out.
So it's all about who's going to dictate the pace, who's going to get stops on defense, who's going to get hot quick. Coach, both of these teams, really good guards, really good players, really good systems. But who do you think will punch their ticket to the finals?
I don't know. Is there any way you can vote against JRU at this point?
Right.
You know, I just think that they have that special spark. I think with a new system, with a new coach, and a new sort of lease on life, I think they're going to take that and they'll get them all the way to the finals.
I'm going to agree with you, Coach. I think JRU has that special spark, like you said. They just seem to be in this winning position, in that kind of momentum. So let's see and find out as we turn it to the venue announcer for our starting 5. And let's take a look at the starting five of today's semifinals. Argente, Pangilinan, Benitez, Lozano, and Panapanaan for JRU. And for NU, it's Jumamoy, Santiago, John, Navarro, and Francisco. And the ball is up. Two teams for one finals ticket here in the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup Season 4. Coach, how excited are you to see both of these teams battle it out here at the ENDERUN Titan Gym?
I'm extremely excited and intrigued to see how this game plays out. You know that both teams are going to apply a lot of pressure, are going to play with great force and intensity. So it should be an exciting game, an up-and-down game.
As we see John converting the first 2 points here for NU. We have JRU starting with what it seems like what's been their strong five here in the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup, with Sanlea Peña Verde coming off the bench. What do you think of that strategy, coach, here in the semifinals matchup?
Well, I think one of the things that becomes important, especially as you advance in the tournament, is making the opposing coach have to think about how they're going to attack you. So, changes in the lineup, having your best scorer coming off the bench, those kind of things definitely play into the game plan for the opposing team. So let's see if it plays any or has any positive benefit for JRU.
And here comes NU. They're up 4 with 8 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Paul Francisco kicks out to the right side. Three-pointer is no good. And a rebound here by JRU. Here comes the blue shirts. They're down 4, looking to get a start here. Lozano. And a foul is called here off that pick. Navarro will be called for that foul. And how about here for NU? Last game I covered NU, Paul Francisco had a lot to do with their kind of intensity against UP Team 2. He was picking up full court. He was really harassing the guards of UP. What do you think Paul Francisco and his team here can do to get this dub and move on to the finals?
Well, I think Francisco is really poised to have a breakout season in the UAP. I think he is putting himself in position by the way he's playing and the way he's playing on both ends of the floor to be a guy that can make a lot of waves in the UAP. So I think him being able to play a steady game is going to help his team out.
And a timeout has been called by JRU as we take a look at the 7th point of NU. We'll be right back with the rest of the first.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry, be Unli with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus Unli Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
7-zip NU starting off this game really strong. They're pushing the pace. They're getting to the ahead pass. They're not afraid to shoot the 3. And now they're up 7. And let's see if JRU can answer. We're talking about earlier in the pregame, coach, that if NU is trying to get this win, they need to contain the guards of JRU. And if they do, what can JRU do to counter this kind of pressure from NU?
Well, they have to find a way to get the ball up the floor without having to work that hard, in the sense that anytime you're using the dribble or the bounce to get the ball across against a full court press, you're just exerting so much energy. So JRU would be better served if they can flash guys to the middle of the floor, open spaces, and move the ball up the floor by the pass versus the dribble.
And here comes JRU. They give it to Justin Lozano. He's on the right side, dumps it back inside to Lance Benitez. A kick out to Lozano. Hand off to Argente for 3, too strong. Ball is loose and is with JRU. Panapanaan. Binigay kay Joseph Pangilinan. Uses a screen of Lance Benitez, and it will be a foul on NU. That is the second foul of NU coming from that hard show, coach. How can they adjust to make sure that the refs don't call that anymore?
Well, I think they are over exuberant when it comes to their ball screen coverages. I think the most important thing is them being able to contain the ball handler and prevent him from getting to the basket or getting a downhill drive.
Argente for three, and it is good. The first three here for the Heavy Bombers, and here comes NU. Binigay kay Francisco. JRU in a 2-3 zone, and let's see if they can have a counter to it. Francisco drives. Francisco still with the dribble. Fadeaway jumper. It is good. That is a good-looking jumper there by Paul Francisco.
He snaked his way through the zone defense, got to his spot, and hit that fade pull-up jumper. I feel like there's more to come from this guy for this game.
And let's see if he does do more. And Pangilinan dumped down to Benitez. Benitez, no good. Benitez has it, goes up with it, and cleans it up. Another 2 points here for Lance Benitez. And here comes NU Humamoy with the basketball, telling his team, let's ramp it up, as a three by Jello Santiago is bottom of the net. 12-5 here. NU off to a strong start. Justin Lozano, a tall point guard here for JRU as he's scanning the floor. Binigay kay Joseph Pangilinan. He drives baseline, tries to get it to Benitez. Ball is loose. NU will get it. Humamoy, binigay kay Francisco. Francisco has the basketball right side of the court, gives it to John. John in the post with the height advantage. He backs down once, twice. Left hand hook, it is good. And NU is relentless here early in the game, Coach.
Well, they're throwing the first punch, Justin. I mean, they have been successful on got to be at least 80% of their offensive possessions. They're applying so much pressure on JRU to have to respond on the offensive end, and JRU is playing a little tight right now.
I think NU heard that we both picked JRU to win.
I have a feeling that they have like little birdies.
They found out, Coach, as NU with the basketball. Humamoy drives up, gets a lob, but John couldn't control it. Here comes Sean Argente, the steady point guard of JRU. Binigay kay Joseph Pangilinan. Pangilinan surveying the floor, trying to get it into the post, but Argente back with the basketball, uses the screen of Benitez. Argente against a much taller John. Gets it inside. Pana-panaan mid-range. Jay, that is good. And JRU here starting to answer back by the NU.
Yeah, I think they've found a little bit of a rhythm offensively. They're moving the ball, making NU have to chase. Now they have to get stops on the defensive end.
And let's see if they do. Humamoy goes inside, and a right-hand hook is good by Padrones. 69, 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. NU up 7 early here in the first quarter. And NU gets a steal. Francisco fakes, gets it outside to Jello Santiago for 3, no good. Rebound will go to Humamoy. Humamoy asking for a teammate. Now gets it in the post to Padrones. Back to Humamoy. Humamoy binigay kay John. John inside, and a whistle is called, and here comes a substitution for both squads. Coach, now we see Harry Herrera and Peña Verde coming in for JRU, and those two guys, I feel like, has a really good chance to give JRU that spark that they need here.
Well, when you look at coming in at this point in the game, they've had about 5 minutes to sort of see what the rhythm and the pace of the game is like, try to find and reflect on where they can make the greatest impact. So you can assume that they're going to get going relatively quickly once they've entered the game, which they have.
And here comes Humamoy. Siya may hawak ng bola. Humamoy, oh my goodness, what a left-hand scoop, but it is no good. And ito na, si Sanlea Peña Verde, the super rookie of JRU. Ginamit na screen ni Sarmiento. And a foul has been called here on NU. That will be their 4th foul already here in the first quarter. As we can see, Coach, NU, they got this lead through aggressiveness from the outside, from their guards. But now, how can they start involving their big men? As we see, there is a height advantage down low for NU.
Well, NU on their first possession did a great job of executing and getting an interior shot for Omar John. They, if they're able to really work their offense, they definitely have the ability to get interior looks and the ability to be able to finish in the paint.
Let's see if they can do some more as Reinhard Humamoy. What a pass, touchdown pass, but Enriquez will get it. 3-pointer, no good. Ball is loose. It will go to NU. NU still with the basketball. Binigay kay Humamoy. Humamoy drives middle. Gives it up. Inside foul is called. And 2 free throws will come for Palacelo, the big man of NU. As we can see here, the replay, Reinhard Humamoy. This is my first time watching Reinhard Humamoy play in person, and like you said earlier, Coach, he's one of your favorite players to watch here. Can you describe to me what kind of game Reinhard Humamoy can bring here in this game?
You know, he's very crafty, and I think one of the things that becomes important for a team that does have, guys who can put the ball in the bucket, you need a guy that's able to organize the offense, penetrate, and create plays for the guys who can score. And Humamoy is just a guy that is looking pass first and trying to get the easiest shot possible.
And here comes JRU. Hari Herrera may tanga ng bola. They swing it left side to Esguerra. Peñaverde now with the basketball. Peñaverde serving, naghahanap ng kakampi. Binigay kay Jay Garupil, tinira, and it is good. Bank shot is open as Jay Garupil enters the game and contributes right away. Can they get a stop against NU? Mark Parks, can he answer? Mark Parks for 3, and he does, answering the three-pointer of Jay Garupil. And ito na si Sanlea Peñaverde. Peñaverde crosses over, hesitates, looks for a teammate. Looking to use the screen of Esguerra, going against Nash Enriquez. Peñaverde still with the basketball, double crossover, right hand, no, dumps it down to Esguerra, layup no good, and NU with the basketball. NU is pushing, Mark Parks, siya may hawak ng bola, binigay inside to a teardrop, it is good. NU, Coach, is running on all cylinders right now in the first
They
quarter.
look very efficient offensively. Guys who were shooting from the perimeter look like they're stepping into the pass to shoot wide open threes. And, it always looks like when that interior pass gets in there, the bigs are ready with a easy shot that gives them great offense at this point.
And we can compare that last possession between JRU and NU, Coach. For JRU's situation, Peñaverde maybe had the basketball for 80% of the shot clock, and contrast to NU, it was about 6-7 seconds they got off the shot clock. First pass, easy shot for NU.
It's a tribute, I think, to the defense that NU is playing. They are just hounding that ball handler so much that they are obscuring the passing lanes, the line of sight, and making the ball handler have to pound the ball into the ground like for 10, 15 seconds to find an open teammate.
So let's see here if JRU can adjust. Now they're in this full court press, and NU will break it. And here comes the blind double by Peñaverde. They get it to Nash Enriquez. Binigay down low, a mid-range J, a foul is called, as another 2 free throws will go to Palacelo, as NU now up by 9 with 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. So far, Coach, what do you think of the gameplay that we have here today?
I look at NU and they've played pretty much a perfect first quarter. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better for them other than the fact that they're in the penalty. But their ability to withstand some of these, defensive, lapses and still play with a lot of pressure and force on the defensive end has keyed their offense.
And let's see here if NU can finish their perfect first quarter, still doing what they're doing. Here comes JRU. Esguerra may hawak ng bola. Looking for a teammate. Binigay yung bola kay Garupil. Garupil to Peñaverde. Peñaverde, shot clock winding down. Working on Mark Parks. He pulls up for a 3. In and out. Rebound by Palacelo. Enriquez. Touchdown pass intercepted by JRU. Here comes the Heavy Bombers. Sarmiento goes up strong and finishes. As here comes NU. They are not holding down on the gas pedal as Mark Parks throws up a wild shot. Hari Herrera. Binababa ang bola. Scanning the floor, binigay kay Sarmiento. Sarmiento, pinapakat si Hari Herrera. Binigay ang bola kay... Still Sarmiento. Sarmiento now doubled by Peñaverde with the basketball. 5 seconds left to shoot. Working on Mark Parks. Peñaverde drives and gets the foul on Mark Parks. And coach, in modern basketball now, we see that a lot. Not only in the Philippines, but also in NBA, where they do that sweeping, foul bait move that most of these high IQ guards do.
You have to use the rules to your advantage. So if the defender has their hands low and you're on the drive, anything that's going to impede your ability to shoot the ball will be called a foul. So, the more crafty and intelligent scorers know that that's a part of the game that they can use to their advantage.
If you can recall, Coach, who did you see first do that at the pro level? The first person I knew that started to do that was James Harden.
Oh, I was just going to say the exact same thing. Harden, or possibly, I would say, KD.
Okay.
But Harden for sure, because he's so ball dominant. The ball's always in his hands. So, yeah.
And let's see here if NU can answer back at this mini run of JRU. And JRU gets the steal. Argente, he's back in the game. Siya may hawak ng bola, binigay kay Harry Herrera. Harry Herrera asking for a teammate, binigay kay Sean Argente. Sean Argente burning some time off the clock. Asks for a screen from Esguerra, he rejects it. He goes middle, he stops, he hesitates, bumps, teardrop, no good. But Esguerra with the rebound, can he clean it up? No, and the ball is loose. The ball will go back to JRU. 4 seconds left to shoot as Mark Parks will come into the game, most likely for defensive purposes here for NU, as Reinhard Humamwe will come out the basketball game. 4 seconds left to go. Peñaverde inbounding. He gets it to Sarmiento. Sarmiento drives, teardrop, too strong, and that will be the first 10 minutes of our semi-final matchup here at the ENDERUN College Titan Gym. 23, the National University Bulldogs. 17, the Jose Rizal University Heavy Bombers, as we take a look at the first quarter highlights.
No worries, dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only Chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT. My future.
Right? What's a plan? I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Two teams still battling it out here for the final ticket to the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup Season 4 Finals. The Adamson Soaring Falcons waiting for one of these teams. Will it be the Bulldogs or will it be the Heavy Bombers? Coach, we're talking off air right now. For NU to only be down with the deficit that they have now, they should be in a good position to come back and win this basketball game.
Just a matter of finding your rhythm. JIU definitely is in a very good position. They fought through the runs that NU had in the first quarter to find themselves, within a two possession of tying the game. So it's just a matter of staying true to what they do, handling the pressure and finding good shots.
And let's see here if JRU can do just that, as NU pressuring full court. JRU with the basketball, binigay kay Sean Argente. Binigay kay Esguerra. Esguerra looking for a teammate, gives it to Argente. Argente drives baseline, and a foul has been called. Another great heads-up play there by Argente. Saw that the NU guard Miranda had his hand in the middle, and he sweeps and gets the foul.
It's it's a new game. The modern game, it really favors the offense. So defenders have to be really smart about how they contest, staying vertical, and being able to put appropriate pressure on the ball.
As Argente will miss Another three-pointer for the Heavy Bombers. Sean Argente has been a little quiet here in the first quarter. And, you know, he's one of those players that we are watching here for today's game.
You know, they've bottled him up quite a bit, and they know he's the key to the offense right now, and the ball's in his hands quite a bit. So, you know, NU is doing their job and making it hard for him.
And let's see if NU can keep doing just that as they have the basketball. Miranda may hawak ng bola. Humingi ng screen. Siya may hawak, binigay to the three-point line, and a three-pointer is good here for NU. Already an 11-point game for the Bulldogs. Can JRU answer back? Panapanaan, siya may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Joseph Pangilinan. Lance Benitez, DHO to Sean Argente. Argente pump fakes, gets it outside for a three-pointer. No good, but Lance Benitez will get the offensive board. He fakes. He kicks it back out. Argente pump fakes. Step backs, hesitation, step through. Good. What a nice move there by Sean Argente.
Yeah, crafty as can be. Interestingly enough, though, think about how hard he had to work to get that shot. You know, that's a hard way to play if you know, you're constantly have to battle all that pressure, all those hands and arms and legs in order to get it off balance, one hand push shot up. That's you know, definitely favors NU at this point.
Right. And like you said, for him to do all those moves just to get that shot, it's going to be a long night if that's going to be every point that he will make here tonight.
Correct.
As he will shoot the bonus free throw and he will make it count. 8-point lead for the Bulldogs as they have the basketball. JRU pressing full court. Nash Enriquez may hawak ng bola. The ball is loose. Ball is still loose. Bodies on the floor here, and JRU will win that battle. Here comes the blue shirts. Lozano. Binigay kay Joseph Pangilinan for three. That is no good. In and out. Ball is still loose. And it will go to NU. Now that's the shot that we want to see JRU take.
For sure. The ball goes inside out, penetration, kick out to the corner. This is the kind of effort JRU is going to need in terms of amping up the pressure and creating turnovers, so that way they can get extra possessions. That's probably the formula for them in order to get back in this game.
As NU will inbound the basketball, as we can see, Omar John is back in the basketball game here, and let's see how NU will try to incorporate the FSA.
You know, right now JRU appears to be in a 2-2-1 press, so you know, you have to wonder whether or not NU will get the ball in the front court with enough time so they can set up a good post action for Omar John. The press sort of can negate that if they're able to put a lot of pressure on the ball.
A great strategy here by JRU, making sure that NU gets to their sets late so that, like you said, it won't have enough time for Omar John. As we take a look at the PusoP.com assist of the game. NU has been really moving that ball, and a great finish there by Reyes as we are back in the action. NU with the basketball. Miranda, siya may hawak ng bola against a 2-3 zone of JRU. Miranda to Enriquez. Back to Miranda. Miranda pump fake, steer drop. It is good. A good-looking shot there by Miranda, and a great way to break that 2-3 zone.
Oh, definitely. They were patient. They didn't allow the pressure to bother them significantly enough. And, you know, I think if you can say there's a patented shot in the Filipinos' arsenal, it's the running floater in the middle of the floor.
It's like every Filipino guard that is around 5'8", 5'7" has that shot.
You need that shot in order to play at the next level, for sure.
Very true, Coach. As JRU will get the basketball as they're inbounding at the baseline. They give the basketball to Sean Argente. Pangilinan siya may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Justin Lozano. And a great steal there by Miranda. And the ball goes out of bounds. NU will get the basketball. Coach, seems like JRU can't find any rhythm here on the offensive end.
When it's a 5-on-5 game, yes, NU they're in the passing lanes, they're there on the catch. So yeah, JRU is having a hard time being able to catch in space and see the floor. They're going to have to make this an up and down game in order to get more open looks at the basket.
As Miranda will hit another three-pointer here for NU, and it is now a 13-point game. Pangilinan, binigay kay Panapanaan. Naghahanap ng kakampi, binigay kay Justin Lozano. Lozano surveying the floor, he drives middle, right-hand teardrop off the glass. It is good as Lozano answers back. NU quickly back on their side. Omar John siya may hawak ng bola, kicks out for a three-pointer, no good. Omar John, what an offensive board, and that will cause nightmares here for JRU.
You know, one of the things that you mentioned earlier was the fact that the ball was getting up the floor quickly, right? What did they do? JRU didn't score, or they did score, and you got the ball quickly down the floor and into Omar John for a post action, for a post look. That is smart basketball. If there's anything that you've seen today, this tells you that NU is sort of dialed in and focused.
As you can see, that's probably their game plan. Push the ball as fast as they can, try to find Omar John, get him involved, and they've been doing a really great job with that as they're already up 13 here in our semifinals matchup. NU versus JRU, as Sean Argente will shoot 2 free throws and he will make the first one. We just like to thank our official venue partner, the ENDERUN College Titan Gym, PusoP.com, Buffalo's Wings and Things, Smart 5G, as we take a look as Sean Argente will hit the second free throw. Sanlea Peñaverde back in the game here. Coach, let's see if he could be the spark that the Heavy Bombers are looking for here in the second quarter.
Well, they sorely need a kickstart, and hopefully him getting loose somehow in the offensive end will get these guys the added boost they need.
As we see JRU still in that 2-2-1 press, as Santiago will force it, kicks it out to Enriquez. Enriquez, a kick out for a 3, no. They give it up to Jello Santiago, pull up mid-range, Jay off the glass, it is good. That looked like Russell Westbrook in his prime, the way he got off that floor.
Yes, I mean, like pogo sticks, but very under control, nice vertical, textbook pull-up jumper.
And let's see if JRU can finally get some points off the board here. Peñaverde, trap, he tries to split it, but doesn't get through. Hari Herrera, siya may hawak, pump fake up, and a foul will be called here on Solomon. Great pump fake there by Hari Herrera.
Again, a heady play. The defender has, jumped, took the bait, and he, drew the foul. Again, we're looking at a situation where JRU really has to work extremely hard to get any look at the basket. Driving is not available. NU's doing a great job of clogging up the driving lanes. There's no perimeter shot opportunities. JRU is just really up a creek without a paddle in their canoe. They really have to find another way to get back in this game.
And let's see if they can start hitting some outside shots or just even create more efficient shots for them, because like we've been seeing, they've been doing a lot just to get an attempt up here against NU.
And then you have to think about this, Elisa, as an opposing coach, right? He hits this free throw, right, and NU is immediately up the floor. I mean, a forward pass, and it's already like a 3-on-2.
Wow.
That's as a defense, that's hard to contain. If you're always at a disadvantage on the defensive end, you're going to find it very difficult to either stay or get back in a game.
How would you adjust to that, Coach, if you see, NU, right, when they get the basketball, whether it's a made shot or a missed shot, they're jumping the gun. If you're JRU, how would you adjust to that? Would you have your guards already go back on defense, or how would you do it?
Yeah, I would adjust the floor balance, and I would probably have, at least 3 guys back, or, for me, it might be even about picking the ball up a little bit earlier, the pickup points closer to half court. That way the guy with the ball has to make a decision. It's not just a free pass up the floor.
Right. And let's see if JRU can make an adjustment here in the second quarter. Harry Herrera, nahihirapan ibigay yung bola, and NU will get the steal. Jello Santiago will miss that layup, and another turnover almost here for JRU, but they will recover the basketball. Harry Herrera binigay ang bola kay Sanlea Peñaverde. Peñaverde tumatawag ng play. Binigay kay Harry Herrera, scanning the floor, gives it back to Peñaverde. Peñaverde for three. It is too strong there for Lea Peñaverde. And here comes NU. Jid looks in the basketball game. Looks in, pump fakes, looks for a teammate, gives it to Navarro. Navarro takes a DHO. He drives. He is stuck, gives it to Luxin. Luxin back to Navarro. Navarro goes up. Great defense by JRU. Omar John, no. Ball is loose. Ball with Peñaverde. Oh my goodness, what a move there by Lea. But he is hounded here by NU. What great defense there by NU.
You know, NU has not given up on any play or any possession this entire game. I mean, they fight for every loose ball. You know, they're trying to finish every possession, offensively or defensively. It's pretty impressive.
As we will be back with the rest of the second.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry! Be Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus Only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
My future.
Right? What's the plan? I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
39-26. The NU Bulldogs up 13 here in our second quarter. 3 minutes and 48 seconds left to go. NU seems to be in control of this game, Coach.
Yes, and it all starts in the defensive end. They have given JRU fits, nightmares in terms of being able to just create havoc on the offensive end for JRU. They've used a very impressive 3-2 zone. They put all their length up at the front. They're super active. They in their man defense, they are hedging hard and blitzing on ball screens. You know, JRU just doesn't have any answer for this at this point.
And now NU will be on the offensive end. Jello Santiago binigay kay Omar John. Omar John gets it back to Jello Santiago. They swing it to Paul Francisco for three off to the left. And Sanlea Peñaverde will get the basketball. He's pushing against Jid Luxin. Binigay kay Benitez. A jumper is up. And a jumper will be called with a foul. That's not Lance Benitez, but that is Justin Lozano. And he will shoot 2 free throws here for JRU. Coach, what would you do against a 3-2 zone? What's the kind of actions, what's the kind of play style do you need to have to break down a 3-2 zone?
In my experience, when you have an odd front zone like that, meaning there's one person at the top, I usually like to offset the guards. That way one guy's guarding two. And at that point, it's really about, I think, ball movement and then using probe dribbles, using dribble penetration to draw the defenders, make them collapse and then kick out or find the high lows for easier shots. But because of the length that NU is using in their 3-2, JRU is having a very difficult time trying to get inside.
And now NU back with the basketball. Jid Luxin, siya may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Jello Santiago. Santiago tries to drive baseline but it's cut off. Binigay kay Navarro. Navarro will work on Sanlea Peñaverde and a great double there, but Jello Santiago will get the ball and it is good. A three-pointer by Jello Santiago keeps the pressure on here on JRU as Lozano will try to answer back. Few dribbles against Santiago. He gives it to Benitez. Benitez binigay kay Panapanaan. Panapanaan with plenty dribbles as well. A fadeaway mid-range J. It is good. But we were talking about how hard they're working for their shots here.
Oh, I mean, beautiful shot against a defender contesting. But how? I mean, can you do that every possession and get a bucket? It's a tall task.
And the ball will be loose, and an offensive foul here will be called on Omar John, and JRU will retain the basketball as one of the guards, and I'm really excited to watch every time I cover NU, is Jid Luxin. He is so quick, he is so fast to make decisions as a point guard, and that's something that you'd like to see from a young guy like him.
You know, NU has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to, heady, quick, in a sense, spectacular guards. You know, Luxin is another one, another guy in the line of, great NU guards. It just gives you so many options on the offensive end to have a guy like that who can always put pressure on the defense and play with pace.
And, to have that kind of lineup, as we can see right here, we got Reinhard Humamoy, Jid Luxin, and Paul Francisco. That's one really, really pesky lineup on the defensive end because they really put on the pressure.
I'm really impressed with Francisco. He does, he works hard on both ends of the floor. I don't really see him taking a play off. He's constantly moving his feet. He's staying in front of the ball as an on-ball defender. Like I said, I think he's due for a breakout season coming up in the UAP.
And let's see if he can show us some of that breakout stuff in the upcoming UAAP season as JRU has the basketball. Lozano working inside, but he loses the ball, and here comes Jid Luxin. He turns on the gas as he tries to go up with it. The ball is loose. It will go to Reinhard. Reinhard for three, too strong. And look at who's fighting for that basketball, Jid Luxin.
Well, like you had said before, in NU's last game, they played with an urgency that propelled them to the win over UP. They're doing the same thing here. That ball probably, in most circumstances, wouldn't be NU's ball, but the way that they're able to fight and to be first, to loose balls is impressive.
And that's championship DNA, not taking a play off, fighting for every basketball that is loose as they turn it over, and here comes Sanlea Peña Verde. Oh my goodness, what a layup, but he misses. But Panapanaan will recover the basketball. Binigay kay Sarmiento, humihingi ng screen. DHO to Panapanaan. Panapanaan binigay kay Lance Benitez. Peña Verde now with the basketball. Oh my goodness, what a deep three. Oh man, Sanlea Peña Verde with unlimited range from the young man.
Great players make tough shots, and Peña Verde has proven that throughout this tournament, that he is a guy that when you need a bucket, he's a guy to go to.
And Reinhard Humamoy drives in, and JRU will get a stop. Here comes Peña Verde against Francisco. He bumps, he stops, looking for a teammate. Binigay kay Sean Argente, he drives right. What a great pass to Benitez. And JRU starting to look alive here as Benitez will shoot two. And now we're starting to see JRU's brand of basketball here at the end of the second.
Yeah, absolutely. Defensive transition, or get a defensive stop. You're in transition offensively, and now you're putting pressure on NU to have to guard you going downhill. Perfect example of creating a play for your teammate. Now you're at the line making free throws.
It is now a single-digit ball game here with 26 seconds left to go in the first half. JRU has a chance to get it down to 7, and they do. A timeout has been called here by the National University Bulldogs as the Jose Rizal University Heavy Bombers are creeping up here in the second. We'll be right back.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, Get these smart Wi-Fi promos today.
No worries dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only Chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
JRU here, making a comeback from what it seems finally starting to get some momentum here on the offensive end. And coach, you know, seeing JRU starting to get some signs of life here, what can NU do to counter that?
NU has to be solid defensively. They have to be a little bit more careful, I think, you know, with such a lead. You know, in the second quarter, they may have been not necessarily careless, but they were allowing possessions to go, you know, to not be accountable for, you know, the shots they were taking. The one thing to look at in terms of this game is, you know, NU has been in penalty both quarters. So if that continues in the second half, can JRU take advantage of that? And then if NU continues to be like careless with the ball, you know, that could be an opening for JRU to really get back in the game.
And let's see if JRU can create that opening in the second half, as Sanlean Peñaverde will give up a foul here as they are not in the penalty just yet. 44-37, NU up by 7 with 17 seconds left to go. A quick double here by JRU. Nash Enriquez looking for a teammate. Binigay kay Reinhard Humamoy, 3 guys on him, they kick it out. Padrones, and another foul will be called here. A great foul by JRU to have NU's momentum be killed here before the end of the half.
Very nice execution of a defensive game plan at the end of the half. Hopefully they'll be able to complete it.
NU still with the basketball, 3 seconds left to shoot. A teardrop is up, and a stop will be made here by JRU. Like you said, coach, great defensive execution.
Did a great job. You know, they knew what they needed to do. They didn't play, you know, out of character. You know, stayed calm and composed, and got NU to shoot a tough, you know, but makeable shot in the post. It got the defensive rebound, and the quarter ended.
44 NU, 37 JRU. We'll be right back with the final 20 minutes.
Do you love the game? To preserve it, you must follow the FIBA Code of Conduct at all times, which means betting on basketball is strictly forbidden. Asking family or friends to bet for you is not allowed either. You must never improperly influence results or incidents within a game, no matter how small, or engage in corrupt conduct by either giving or receiving a bribe. Never share inside information with anyone who could use it for betting. FIBA closely monitors betting markets. It has eyes on any suspicious activity, sending investigators to interview players and gather evidence every time there is a suspicion of match fixing. Remember, as a professional, your behavior matters, especially in the way you treat your teammates, fellow players, staff, and others outside the game. Abuse, whether physical, psychological, or sexual, is strictly prohibited. The way you behave away from the court is equally important. Any action that risks damaging the reputation of the game can be sanctioned by FIBA too. And if you witness an actual or even potential violation, you must report it to FIBA immediately or risk receiving a sanction yourself. You can carry out this duty anonymously using the reporting tool on the FIBA website. The integrity of our sport is at stake, so you have the obligation to cooperate fully with any investigation into a possible infringement. This includes handing over your phone, personal devices, and any financial records requested, Failure to cooperate will result in a suspension. Breaking any of these rules could get you a 100,000 Swiss franc fine and a lifetime ban from the sport. Even attempting to break a rule could land you in trouble. Above all, play with respect, reject corruption, gambling, and all other dangers to the sport. And use basketball to make a better world. This is our game. Play it straight.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry. Be Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now.
No worries, dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only Chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
We started ang family business talaga namin. Talaga sari-sari store ang negosyo namin. So sa sari-sari store namin, same building, meron kaming on the side na dress shop. Yan ang sabi ni Mama. Dress shop, hindi pa to sports. I mean, nagagawa lang kami, nagre-repair lang kami ng mga damit. From there, may pumunta sa kanyang friend or client na nagpagawa ng parang how many pieces of t-shirts. So from there, yung makina niya, kaya naman gawin yung shirt, doon na nag-start yung paggawa niya ng uniforms. Kung paano yung sinimulan ni Mama, siguro yun pa rin naman yung nararamdaman namin. Pero in a different perspective na. Talagang pag nanood ngayon tayo ng TV, when we watch yung different sports, kunyari nanood tayo ng basketball, makikita natin yung PBA. Pag nanood tayo ng volleyball, makikita natin yung LGR. Iba na yung pakiramdam na yung brand is overall, nakikita na lahat.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
My future.
Right? What's the plan? I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Do you love the game? To preserve it, you must follow the FIBA Code of Conduct at all times, which means betting on basketball is strictly forbidden. Asking family or friends to bet for you is not allowed either. You must never improperly influence results or incidents within a game, no matter how small, or engage in corrupt conduct by either giving or receiving a bribe. Never share inside information with anyone who could use it for betting. FIBA closely monitors betting markets. It has eyes on any suspicious activity, sending investigators to interview players and gather evidence every time there is a suspicion of match fixing. Remember, as a professional, your behavior matters, especially in the way you treat your teammates, fellow players, staff, and others outside the game. Abuse, whether physical, psychological, or sexual, is strictly prohibited. The way you behave away from the court is equally important. Any action that risks damaging the reputation of the game can be sanctioned by FIBA too. And if you witness an actual or even potential violation, you must report it to FIBA immediately or risk receiving a sanction yourself. You can carry out this duty anonymously using the reporting tool on the FIBA website. The integrity of our sport is at stake, so you have the obligation to cooperate fully with any investigation into a possible infringement.
And we are back here for second half action between the NU Bulldogs and the JRU Heavy Bombers as we take a look at the halftime stats, Coach.
For me, you got to look at the three-point shooting. They shot around the same number of three-point shots, but NU is shooting at 50%. This goes to show you that they are on the mark from the perimeter. Probably what's helping JRU at this point is the fact that they are plus 10 in free throw attempts, and they're also plus 10 in makes. That's probably contributing to the fact that they're staying in this game within single digits. NU is doing a better job of moving that ball around with 14 assists. Probably JRU will need to look at ball security, being -5 in turnovers, giving NU extra possessions to score. That's a recipe for being sad at the end of the game.
And now let's take a look at the leading scorers from both of these squads, starting off with NU, Coach.
Santiago, he's just like catching the ball in rhythm, and not surprising, he's hitting his perimeter jumpers. Omar John, probably a focus for NU going forward in this game with only 6 points. Argente, as advertised, he's keeping his team in the game. Benitez, obviously a scorer, a guy who can put the ball on the floor, and Peña Verde. I never would count that guy out in terms of making an impact in the game, and he's still got 20 more minutes left.
And let's see if Peña Verde can have a spark here in the second half. But before we start, Pinoyliga Cup would like to thank the following: Pinoyliga.com, Smart Sports, Amili Hotel Manila, LGR, Buffalo Wings and Things, Yokohama Diamond, Serious Players Only, official venue partner, ENDERUN College's official ticketing partner, Ticket to Me. Catch the games via www.pusop.com, the Smart Sports Facebook page, Pinoy Liga's Cup's Facebook and YouTube channel, and Pinoy Liga Cup is a proud member of the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas, SBP. As we take a look now at the second half, Sean Argente may hawak ng bola. Argente tries to go to Benitez. Benitez gets the basketball. 1 second up, a shot is up and a foul. And that's the start you want if you're JRU. And if you're NU, first foul with, just 30 seconds off the clock.
Well, and think about this. They had played great defense up until the end of the shot clock. They had extended their defense all the way towards half court. It was hard for JRU to initiate anywhere near the operating area, and yet, because of a foul, JRU is at the line and has just made one free throw.
As Ivan Panapanaan is at the free throw line. One of those, you could say, scrappy players for JRU, Coach.
Yeah, and I think that's characteristic of the entire team. It's a roster full of scrappy guys.
And let's see if that scrappiness can get them back in the game as they get a steal. Here comes Argente binigay kay Justin Lozano. Lozano goes up strong and finishes. Here comes JRU. Can NU here answer back and try to slow down the fire of the Heavy Bombers?
We talked about carelessness, right? At the end of the second quarter, that is the opening. That's the little crack in the door that JRU would need in order to, find their way back even in this game. So we just have to hope that, for NU's sake, they value the ball a little bit better and allow their offense to work.
And let's see if they could do just that. With Omar John in the basketball game, let's see if they could run some sets to get the big man involved, as NU will also pick up full court. And let's see how that will affect the game of the Heavy Bombers. Lozano, siya may hawak ng bola, siya magbababa. He crosses over to the left side. Lozano telling his team, let's set a play. He gives it to Panapanaan, looking for a teammate. Panapanaan looking for Joseph Pangilinan, but he doesn't get it to him. They give it to Sean Argente. Argente for three. No good. Ball is loose, and they will get an extra possession. Pangilinan drives baseline, gives it to Panapanaan. Panapanaan, no good. In and out. Reinhard Humamoy will get the rebound. Manansala loses the ball. He's on the floor and gets it to Humamoy. Humamoy uses the screen. Humamoy gets it to Manansala. Pump fake for Manansala. Tells his team to slow it down. Omar John here with the basketball against Lance Benitez. Manansala for three. No good. Ball is loose. And JRU with the rebound. Lozano. Binigay kay Argente. Argente against Manansala. Now it's Panapanaan with the basketball. Looking for Joseph Pangilinan on the right side. Pangilinan surveying. Gives it to Lance Benitez. DHO kay Justin Lozano. Lozano, binigay kay Pangilinan for three. Too strong. And rebound by Manansala. NU is running here, but they will turn it over. And like you said, Coach, NU can't do that.
I believe that's our second turnover in this quarter. And the game's only, 2 or 3 possessions. You have to be able to value the ball if you want to, keep the lead. Jumamoy and the guards have to do a better job of making sure the ball stays in their possession.
And especially with the kind of fiery play that JRU can play, if you give them extra possessions to get their momentum going, that's going to be dangerous, especially against the Heavy Bombers.
Well, you look at what's happening now in this quarter. JRU has been first to the ball more, and they've had better efficiency at getting rebounds, both offensive and defensive. They can get extra possessions. There's no telling what the score will be, at the end of this third quarter.
6 seconds left to shoot. Sean Argente against Omar John. Crosses over, drives baseline, right hand teardrop. It is no good. Omar John will get the rebound. Manansala binigay kay Humamoy. Humamoy is pushing it. Looking to Francisco, but great defense there by Joseph Pangilinan recovering. Here comes Lozano all the way. Right hand here is in and out as NU will run right back at JRU. Manansala is stuck, and a foul has been called there by Joseph Pangilinan. And Coach, right there you saw Manansala was already in an iffy position, but Joseph Pangilinan still committed the foul.
It's a tale of like 2 quarters, or 2 halves. Right now, you feel like even though JRU's behind, they have more of a control of the game and its pace. NU is having to react to what JRU is doing, as opposed to the first quarter. It was JRU having to react. as long as JRU can limit bad fouls, they're in a perfect position to get back in this game and get it tied up.
And now JRU will get the basketball. They've had a couple good looks on a fast break there, with Lozano with that teardrop, and even Joseph Pangilinan penetrating inside. They just can't convert here in the second quarter.
It can't be overstated, the J. Wright Villanova style of skill development, being able to play off of 2 feet. There's a opportunity there to maybe just jump stop, let the defense go by you, and then just put the ball in the bucket. So sometimes we may think we have an advantage, but we're out of control, and the shot is doesn't make the mark.
6 seconds left to shoot. Benitez goes inside, and a block there by Omar John, and here comes NU Mark Parks with the basketball. Parks sizing up Lozano, pero binigay kay Nash Enriquez. Enriquez binigay kay Padrones. Paul Francisco binigay kay Enriquez, now asking for a screen from Omar John. Enriquez kicks it out to Paul Francisco on the right side. Three-pointer too strong. Enriquez will get the offensive board. Binigay kay Mark Parks. Balik kay Nash Enriquez. Asking for a screen, still surveying the floor. He kicks it to Mark Parks. Now Enriquez with the basketball. And a foul will be called here against JRU. And like we were talking about, Coach, can't give up these fouls here if you're JRU here in the third quarter.
The margin for victory for JRU is a lot slimmer than it is for NU. So allowing NU to have the ball for more time on the clock is, it puts you in a perilous position in terms of being able to, keep your momentum and get good shots.
And let's see here what NU will do with 14 seconds left to go. Paul Francisco will be inbounding. Box formation. They give it to Omar John. Omar John in the high post gives it to Nash Enriquez on the left side. Sets a screen. Enriquez kicks it out to the opposite side to Navarro. They get it side to Omar John. Two-hand dunk. And that is perfect offense coming from NU.
Talking about our discussion at the beginning of the half, Omar John with 6 points, being able to find him in the paint just makes it an easier offensive possession for NU.
And Peñaverde now with the basketball, working on Paul Francisco. 7 seconds left to shoot. They pass it on the opposite side to Lozano. Now it's Sarmiento. Sarmiento kicks it out to Hari Herrera. Mid-range. Jay, yes sir. Bottom of the net for number 88. And here comes NU. Nash Enriquez may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Omar John. Now it's Parks. Balik kay Nash Enriquez. Navarro with the screen. Enriquez kick out to Paul Francisco. Francisco now to Enriquez. Enriquez for three. In and out. Penalty roll. No. And Justin Lozano will have the basketball. 49-43. NU up 6. Peñaverde siya may hawak ng bola. Humihingi ng screen kay Sarmiento. He rejects it. He goes opposite side. Peñaverde teardrop off the glass. No good. Benitez with the rebound. Lozano, three-pointer is up. Three-pointer is no good. Navarro with the ball, but another steal by JRU. Here comes Hari Herrera. Mid-range is up, and it is good for Hari Herrera. Hari Herrera here having a run of his own, Coach.
Extra possessions, never giving up on the ball. Right now we're at a place where it's so perilous for NU. They could easily, with another turnover or foul, give JRU the added push they need to tie this game up.
Parks for three, short, and here comes JRU. Peñaverde siya may hawak ng bola. Peñaverde crosses middle, kicks it out to Hari Herrera. Hari Herrera for three, short. Herrera with his own rebound, goes up against Omar John and will get the foul. And JRU here coming alive as we take a look at this last play. Hari Herrera getting his own rebound, going back up with it, drawing the foul. And he has a chance here to cut it down to a one possession, Coach.
Harry Herrera, he is a one-man offense at this point. Good for JRU that they're able to find him. They've been able to do their job defensively, putting some pressure in transition on the NU defense, and a little bit of a scramble on these possessions has allowed Harry Herrera to get shots up. And even if they're having to work all the way to the 23rd second of the possession, he's rising up for a jumper, and it's good.
And here we come. We have our basketball game, ladies and gentlemen. Mga Kaliga, 49-46. NU only up 3 with 3 minutes left to go. Nash Enriquez, they get it to the left side of the court. They're trying to look inside to Padrones. He drives, spin is no good, and a stop here by the Heavy Bombers. Can JRU cut it down to 1 or even tie the basketball game here, as we have 3 minutes and 9 seconds left to go, and Hari Herrera will inbound the basketball. Sean Argente against Mark Parks. Argente nagbababa ng bola. Argente surveying the floor. Binigay kay Panapanaan. Panapanaan looking to DHO, and he will to Sanlea Peñaverde. Now it's with Sarmiento. He drives middle. He goes up, and a foul has been called here by the referees. And once again, the fouling is hurting NU more than it's helping them.
Well, you know, you would think that you know, the lead being in double digits early in the game would give you enough of a cushion to handle, the overzealousness of a defense. But you know, at this point, if they can't, adjust and find a better way to defend without fouling, they're just going to continue to put JRU on the line to shoot free throws.
But Sarmiento here will miss both of those free throws. Could have made this lead down to 1 point, but now NU can answer back. Mark Parks. They get it down low to the post. They're surveying the basketball court. Two defenders, but the ball will be retained by NU. 49-46. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to go here in the third quarter, as Miranda will inbound the basketball. NU still looking to inbound the basketball, and they do. Manansala backing down Peñaverde. Miranda, shot may hawak ng bola. Surveying the floor, he gives it to Enriquez. Enriquez gets it to Manansala, no good, and an offensive board here by NU, and it is good from Palacelo. 51 now for NU, 46 for JRU. Peñaverde may tanga ng bola. Peñaverde binigay kay Panapanaan. Ivan looking for a teammate. He's on the right side of the floor. DHO to Sean Argente. Argente, he drives middle, goes up with it, and one! What a shot there by Sean Argente to get his team only down 3 points.
He has shown himself to be a tough shot maker. I think, as any coach is blessed to have a guy like that in crunch time, if I need a bucket, I have a guy that can create on his own and get his own shot. So he is keeping his teammates in the game, or is keeping his team in the game, and at the same time, NU is having a hard time finding offense. Where are they going to find it from? Is it going to be from offensive rebounds? Who knows?
And let's see if they can find one here in this possession, as their lead is only now down to 3. Oh my goodness, what a strong move there by Palacelo as he goes up against 2 defenders there, Coach, as we take a look at the replay.
And maybe that's where they take advantage of what they have as a team. Obviously size favors NU, favors the Bulldogs, so they were in the right to be able to stay composed and actually get a solid post touch, which results in a 3-point play.
And now NU's lead is back up to 6. 1 minute and 34 seconds left to go. A 1-2-1-1 press here being applied by NU. Argente, siya may hawak ng bola. He's on the right side of the court. Argente looking for a teammate. They swing it on the opposite side to Hari Herrera. He looks up at the clock, 7 seconds left to shoot. Argente, a crossover. He goes middle. He stops. He dumps it down. Ivan Panapanaan, reverse lay is good. Wow, what a sequence there by JRU.
Both teams are giving a championship effort. You just never know what can happen when two teams come out here like, guns blazing and really try to exert their will on the other.
Miranda, teardrop, huli by JRU, and here comes the Heavy Bombers. Harry Herrera siya may tanga ng bola. Binigay kay Sean Argente. Argente calling a one play against the NU defense. Fake DHO, he goes middle, he stops, looking for a teammate. Harry, mid-range, J, short. Ball is loose, and NU will get it. 21 seconds on the shot clock, 22 seconds on the game clock. Nash Enriquez telling his team, hey, let's get this last shot. Manansala, binalik kay Enriquez. Back to Enriquez at the top of the floor. Solomon will set a screen, they get it to Miranda. They go inside, teardrop, short, no good, ball is loose. It goes to JRU. Peñaverde, 2 seconds left to shoot. Peñaverde dumps, and it is no good here for Sanlea Peñaverde. NU not going away just yet, as they're only down 4 points against the NU Bulldogs. Last 10 minutes of regulation. Let's see who will punch their ticket to the finals.
No worries, dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only Chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT. Hindi naabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
$54, the NU Bulldogs, 50 for the Jose Rizal University Heavy Bombers, as we are now in the final 10 minutes of regulation in our semifinals matchup. 3 quarters in, Coach. What do you think of the performance of both of these teams, starting off with NU?
Well, I look at this game, and even though it's a low-scoring game, it has been, for me, high octane in terms of just like the theme of the game, intensity, right, and urgency. Both teams playing really hard, giving maximum multiple efforts. For me, it becomes a matter of what storyline is going to carry through. Is it going to be carelessness and fouls on the part of NU, or is it going to be rebounding and multiple possessions by JRU? What is going to carry through in this game?
And for JRU, Coach, they're only down 4 here, and we both picked them to get the W here. What do they need to do to cut down this 4-point lead and hopefully get their first lead here in this game?
Well, if you look at it, they haven't really had the opportunity to get like wide open jumpers. So it'll be a matter of being able to continue to make tough shots.
And let's take a look here at the quarter scoring, Coach.
You look at sort of where we are. Definitely JRU has improved. They've improved their output. They've improved their ability to defend, each successive quarter. So now it's a matter of can NU find a way to respond and get great shots, control the pace of the game, and be more productive while being able to defend at a high level. We'll have to see. Right now, in a low-scoring game, it'll favor the team that doesn't foul as much.
And let's see here, as we know in the fourth quarter, the fouling game gets serious and intense, as we have a whistle being called here by the referees. And Sean Argente will inbound the basketball here for the JRU Heavy Bombers. Box formation. Peñaverde sets a screen on the big defender, and Benitez gets open and a block. What a beautiful stop there by NU.
Great play design first by JRU. NU is just able to be quicker and react to the shot going up. So great possession all the way around.
Let's see here what NU will do. Reinhard Humamoy calling horns down. Santiago coming up on top, but they get it down low to the big man. Santiago will go up, and a foul will be called. Coach Jello Santiago has been really, really impressive this game.
He has been very steady for them. A guy that you can rely on, for good offense. I mean, we talked about where the advantages are for both teams. NU is starting to get the ball inside, being a little bit more patient. Hopefully that will carry through for them. They won't be as careless with the ball. Often, when you get the ball in the post, it provides cutting opportunities and stability offensively.
As we saw Santiago showing his 3-level scoring, had a few mid-range pull-ups, some threes, and a couple of drives to the basket as he misses those free throws. NU still only up 4 here. JRU with the basketball. As now Justin Lozano gives it to Panapanaan. Teardrop, no good. Ball is loose there. And it will be NU basketball as Joseph Pangilinan will come into the basketball game here. And it will be JRU basketball. As we take a look at who's on the court here for JRU, it's Lozano, Pangilinan, Panapanaan, Lance Benitez, and Lea Peñaverde. And for NU is Padrones, Palacelo, Humamoy, Manansala, and Jello Santiago. Both really strong fives here. 14 seconds left to shoot. Pangilinan may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Peñaverde for 3. No, that is short. And Manansala with the rebound. Manansala telling his team, let's slow it down. They give it down low to Padrones. Binigay kay Manansala. Manansala for 3. Too strong. Rebound will go to JRU. And here comes Sanlea Peñaverde. Peñaverde surveying the floor, calling head. He gives it to Joseph Pangilinan. Brush screen and a foul. Oh, and he is stepping outside here. A turnover for JRU. And coach, NU has been quiet here, but JRU can't seem to get any offensive momentum to go their way.
Right now, if you look at the offenses and how they're operating, NU seems to have found something they can go to on every look. They, on successive possessions, have gotten the ball into the post and have run some action off of that. That seems to be more stable than what JRU is trying to attempt to get on their end offensively.
And now it is NU with the basketball. Right hand hook, no good. And the ball will be with JRU, but a foul will be called on the big man, Palacelo, as we take a look at the LGR rebound of the game. As the big man, Palacelo, with the rebound and the putback. And here comes JRU. Ivan Panapanaan will go all the way, and a foul will be called on Palacelo. 2 fouls now here for NU, 54-50. And a perfect opportunity here to finally break the basket for JRU at the free throw line.
Defensive lapse there, not being able to stay on the ball. I think NU is breathing a sigh of relief that JRU did not make the bucket, putting the JRU player, the heavy bomber player, on the line. But they can't afford to have many more of those defensive lapses. They have to make sure that the ball's covered, that there is a premium on keeping the ball out of the paint. Anytime the ball gets in the paint, it's very challenging for the defense to get a stop. On the other hand, JRU, even though NU's getting the ball in the painted area, GRU has done a great job of contesting shots and then limiting NU to one shot. They've been getting the defensive rebounds. That's why the score is 54-50. I mean, Justin, has any team scored this quarter?
They have not. No one has scored here in the fourth quarter.
That's what I thought. It has become a defensive stalemate. We have to see who's going to break this.
It's been 2 minutes and 30 seconds here for both squads. None of them has scored. But, Coach, I wanted to ask you a question. As we saw Ivan Panapanan draw that foul, what caused that foul was a fake DHO. And what I've noticed, JRU's longer guards like Ivan Panapanan and Hari Herrera, they love to do that fake DHO, but they will attack the rim. If you're NU and you know both of those players love to do that fake DHO then penetrate, how do you guard that and how do you set up for that without giving up a drive or without giving up a three-pointer for the man getting that DHO?
Well, I mean, you have to look at whether or not you're switching, right, or you're staying on the ball. You have to have great communication. You know, in a situation like that on DHOs, you know, I'm a big proponent of touch switching. That means you have to come up with the ball handler and with the guy who's going to receive the DHO. That way you can contain the ball once it gets released.
And let's see here if JRU can take the lead or tie the ball game up. They give it to Joseph Pangilinan for the lead. Butter! Joseph Pangilinan gains the lead here for JRU, 55-54. Can NU respond? Jello Santiago, siya may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Reinhard Humamoy. Humamoy binigay kay Manansala. Humamoy, can he answer back? No. Rebound will go to JRU here as JRU with a 1-point lead with 6 minutes and 29 seconds left to go. Argente, binigay kay Joseph Pangilinan. Argente back with the basketball. Argente, he drives, he stops, one hand, teardrop, it is good! Sean Argente making big time shots here for the Heavy Bombers.
I got to think that the reason why JRU has assumed this lead is because they have won the rebounding battle this second half. They are holding NU to one possession, and NU is just not in a place where they are in any rhythm offensively.
And let's see here if JRU can build their lead to more than 1 point. Argente, he has the basketball, binigay kay Ivan Panapanaan. Panapanaan looking to DHO with Hari Herrera. Herrera with the basketball surveying, uses a screen of Panapanaan. Herrera, 7 seconds left to shoot. Herrera with a mid-range pop-up, no good. And rebound will go to Manansala. Manansala binigay kay Humamoy. Humamoy surveying the basketball court, binigay kay Omar John. They swing it to the opposite side. Jello Santiago, siya may hawak ng bola, binigay kay Omar John, and a foul will be called on the floor. Coach, JRU here coming alive as we take a look at the Smart Sports three-point shot play by Joseph Pangilinan. Nothing but net to give JRU their first lead here in our semifinals matchup. But Coach, going back to our point, JRU has some life now. What can they do to sustain this and keep it to the end game?
That is the $64,000 question. For a lot of teams, you work so hard to get back in the game, to assume a lead. You know, sometimes you don't have enough in the tank to bring it all the way home. They have to stay true to what they've been doing and to continue to rebound and continue to attack the basket. If they're doing that, definitely they can put themselves in position to stay in this game and take the lead back again.
Santiago with a big-time three-pointer to get his team back up to 4 points here in the fourth quarter. 61 NU as we take a look at that big-time three-pointer by Jello Santiago. 61 NU, 57 JRU. We'll be right back.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry. Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now.
my future.
Right? What's a plan? I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
NU fighting the JRU Heavy Bombers here in the fourth quarter. Any run JRU seems to go on. NU has an answer, Coach.
Absolutely. And if you look at the lineup now that NU's putting on the floor, you have quite a bit of firepower. You have Omar John, definitely a presence in the post. Francisco can score at 3 levels. Santiago, who's had a heck of a game. Manansala, who's definitely a veteran who can get his own points. And Jamamo, who can be steady. He's been a little bit erratic this half, but let's see if he can put it together. They have a 4-point lead going into the last 4 minutes of the game.
Pangilinan with the basketball, 61-57, NU with the lead. Justin Lozana siya may hawak ng bola, binigay kay Sanlea Peñaverde. Peñaverde, binigay kay Panapanaan. Back to Peñaverde. Peñaverde looks up at the clock, 4 seconds left to shoot. Pangilinan for 3. Yes, sir! Joseph Pangilinan putting on a show here for JRU as the lead is only now down to 1. Reynard Humamoy, siya may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Jello Santiago. Back to Humamoy. Humamoy surveying the floor. He looks to shoot a 3. No, Jello Santiago, can he answer? Butter! Jello Santiago puts his team up by 4 here as me and Coach are really just shaking our heads at the gameplay here today.
Big-time players making big-time shots. Oh, is it an offensive foul?
And yes, it is. An offensive foul here will be called on JRU. Oh my goodness, what a game we have here.
We haven't had a big eruption of offense the entire game, and now we're finding ourselves with like 4 minutes left or under 4, and now guys are just really finding some rhythm. It makes for an exciting basketball game. Who can get the stops?
And that's something that we can find out here with the final 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here in our semifinals matchup. Francisco, siya may hawak ng bola, binigay kay Reynard Humamoy. Humamoy kicks out to Mansala. Great ball movement coming from NU, and it is good by Jello Santiago. Lead is now up to 7. Can the Heavy Bombers answer back? Pangilinan, siya may hawak ng bola. DHO to Justin Lozano. Lozano against Francisco. Trying to get to Lea Peñaverde. Ball is loose and a steal here by NU. And JRU here is being hounded by the NU defense here in the final 3 minutes and 12 seconds.
Reminiscent of the first quarter when NU really controlled the pace of the game by pushing JRU's offense all the way to half court. If you watch the replay, you can see that Francisco and Manansala, they're pushing the guards all the way like 5 feet away from the three-point line. So that's definitely going to favor a bad shot or a turnover on the offensive end, and which is what happened.
And let's see here if NU can build on their 7-point lead with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. Reynard Humamoy, siya may hawak ng bola. Binigay kay Jello Santiago. Santiago, they kick it to Manansala, but it is no good. And here comes JRU. Pangilinan, binigay kay Panapanaan. Panapanaan against Francisco, looking for a teammate. They get it to Justin Lozano, now to Lance Benitez. Ball is loose and a steal here by NAU. JRU just can't seem to control that leather. And NU here has a chance to build this lead. It's Humamoy against Argente. Ginamit ang screen ni Omar John. Argente. Oh, they give it to Omar John. Omar John, what a left-hand hook there by the big man.
What do we talk about? Who's going to get the stops, defend without fouling? NU has definitely been able to do that the past 3 or 4 possessions, and it has led to good scoring opportunities.
And now here comes JRU, 9-point deficit that they are trying to fight back. Lozano binigay kay Argente, and wow, all I can say is NU is putting on that pressure like a pressure cooker. They are not letting up against the Jose Rizal University.
I would say in this fourth quarter, NU has put on a defensive clinic when it comes to like you said, on-ball pressure to push an offense all the way to half court and possibly, cause it over and back. That's impressive for a college team to be able to do that to an opposing college team.
And now it will go back to NU, and a timeout has been called here by the Jose Rizal University Heavy Bombers. They're down 9. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go. We'll be right back.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
No worries dahil only ang saya will TNT saya all. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
My future.
Right? What's the plan? I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
NU knocking at the door of the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup Season 4 Finals as they are up 9 with the final 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in regulation. Coach, we saw JRU's huddle right now, and it seems like they have nothing to lose, and they're really trying to get this W.
At this point, you try to pull out all the tricks in your magic toolbox to try to get your team to at least get one stop. To start with that, get a stop, and then get possession, finish the possession, get the ball back, and let's try to get something in transition that allows us to get an easy bucket, maybe draw a foul. Right now, they need to stem the bleeding a little bit.
And let's see if they do, as Reinhard Humamoy, siya may hawak ng bola. Humamoy uses a screen of Omar John, left hand scoop, no good, ball is loose. As we take a look at the Smart 5G last 2 minutes of the basketball game as Omar John finishes a layup, puts his team up by 11. Can JRU find an answer? But Paul Francisco will give them that answer as Jello Santiago will pull out the basketball. They give it to Reinhard Humamoy. Siya may hawak ng bola, binigay kay Manansala. Back to Humamoy. Humamoy asking for an Omar John screen. And an offensive foul here will be called on Omar John. Coach, 1 minute and 32 seconds left to go. You're down 11. What do you need to do?
Gotta score quick. Gotta score quick. Use your timeouts. Try to manipulate the game to allow you to get as many possessions as possible.
And, we have 1 minute and 32 seconds left to go. And let's see who will punch their ticket to the finals.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry. Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
JRU tried their best here to stay in the game, but it is not over just yet. Like Lenny Kravitz say, it ain't over till it's over. They're only down 11 with 1 minute and 32 seconds left to go. And like you said, Coach, they need to score quick here and get a stop.
Trying to get something up the floor. If they can force a way to draw a foul, stop the clock, you know, it's just a matter of trying to maximize the possessions. You know, maybe NU is loose again with the ball a little bit. Hard to say, but you know, there's just no quitting any of these teams. It's been impressive either way how this game has unfolded.
And another turnover here for JRU, and they just keep, it seems like they're just shooting themselves in the foot at this point.
You know, offensive execution, following the game plan, being focused. You know, these are all lessons you learn in the game, right, in the situation. You know, obviously NU has been through their share of these battles in the UAP. You know, with a new group like this, you know, they're learning how to win, learning how to come back. So either way, it's a good lesson learned for both teams.
Humamoy siya, may hawak ng bola. Final 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go here in this ball game. Humamoy ginamit ang screen ni Omar Jan. Ball is tipped, and it was JRU, and another turnover here from the Heavy Bombers. Nothing just seems to go their way here as Enriquez has the basketball. Uses the screen of Omar Jan. He's serving right hand. Scoop will go over the board here as he says, Coach, akin yun, as he goes over the backboard. And Paul Francisco will come in the game as another timeout will be called here by the JRU Heavy Bombers. 71-60, 54 seconds left to go. We'll be right back.
My future.
Right? What's a plan? I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Can JRU pull off a miracle here with 54 seconds left to go? They're down 11. We've seen stranger things happen in the game of basketball. And 54 seconds is a lot of time to make something happen here in the fourth quarter.
A couple threes go down, a couple steals, a couple fouls, you just never know.
And let's see here if they can start with a basket. Another turnover here by JRU. And NU in full control here in the final 39 seconds left in the basketball as Sanlea Peñaverde putting on the pressure on Reinhard Humamoy. And Humamoy, my goodness. But Omar Jan will not finish that play. And here comes Sanlea Peñaverde. He goes all the way. And a foul will be called on Paul Francisco. And coach, if you're the coach of JRU, seeing that many turnovers in the late game, what would you do? What would you say to them during practice? What are you going to remind them after this post-game huddle? What are the things that you need to tell them?
I probably differ from a lot of coaches. I probably wouldn't say that much in post-game, especially after such a heated battle. You know, there's a lot on the line. You know, you want to play well. You want to represent the school, all that kind of stuff. But definitely, when we get in the when we do film study, when we go over the film, we are going to you know, be very clear about the things that led to, you know, our loss, and definitely the ability to, you know, ball security was, you know, happened to be an issue. And you know, it's either a mindset, because all these guys can handle the rock, they can pass well, they just you know, it wasn't enough of an importance for them, maybe mentally, the players, I mean, in order to really take care of the ball. They, you know, sometimes players are like that. like you're just such in the flow and you're just concentrating on that one possession. You're not aware that 4 possessions in a row you haven't gotten a shot.
Right.
So I mean that's just always tough. But hopefully they learn from this. They're definitely capable. They've shown they can beat good teams, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NCAA.
So let's see here if they have something left up their bag. It's only down to 8 points with 9 seconds left to go. Peñaverde will inbound. Looking for a teammate. They give it to Panapanaan. Panapanaan will lose the basketball once again here. And that will be it. The National University Bulldogs will punch their ticket to the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup Season 4 Finals as they will go up against the Adamson Soaring Falcons. It's going to be one heck of a matchup here for our finals in the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. 71, the National University Bulldogs. 63, the Hussein Rizal University Heavy Bombers, as we will see what will happen between the NU Bulldogs and the Adamson Soaring Falcons in the finals matchup. But hats off to JRU coach and what they did here in this season.
No one expected, I think, if you're a fan of the game, fan of college basketball, no one expected them probably to make this impact in the tournament. But kudos to them. They played great the entire time they were playing.
And we take a listen to the theme songs of both of these schools.
Now for the JRU Heavy Bombers. Ladies and gentlemen, our best player of the game with 24 points, 1 assist, and 6 steals, number 16 from NU Bulldogs, Jero Santiago!
Welcome back, everybody, here at the ENDERUN Titan College Gym with the winners and punching their ticket to the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup Season 4 Finals, the National University Bulldogs. First, Coach, we want to ask you some questions. Coach, nakita natin yung JRU, they tried to come back and try to gain the lead and try to move on to the finals. Pero kayo, anytime they made a run, you guys had a counter to it.
Yes, we'd like to, the boys were really composed, even if they were doing the rally already, they were composed to get it back.
Nice, Coach.
Coach, you know, I noticed during the game that when your defense was really working, you were pushing the JRU ball all the way back to half court. Can you explain a little bit your defensive philosophy about ball pressure and how to disrupt the opposing offense?
We're just doing our regular ball pressure. We've been doing it in practice. So the man with the ball has pressure, then the help side, those things. That's basic basketball.
Okay. Now let's talk to Jero Santiago. Jero, grabe yung nilaro mo kanina. Mukha kang, you know, Russell Westbrook with those pull-up shots. Ano yung mentality mo coming into the game? Ano yung mga gusto mong gawin? And what did you want to do to help your team win?
Ginawa lang namin yung practice namin ng mga past few weeks pa kasi may Korean coach nga kami dito, in-apply lang namin every game. So yun, in-apply lang namin sa game, so di kami nag-relax.
Coach.
You know, for me, I'm just wondering, you know, how are you able to find yourself in the situation? Oh, it's his birthday, never mind.
Coach.
Is it your birthday today?
No.
Oh. Who is his birthday?
No.
Oh no. Okay. No, I'm just wondering. In terms of your game, you were able to score from all 3 levels. What do you feel is your strength in terms of what you can bring to the offense for your team?
Hindi ko expect na papasok yung mga tira ko, so parang nag-trust lang sa akin yung mga teammates ko na parang binibigay sa akin yung pag-open, binibigay sa akin din. Hindi ko naman sila binibigo.
As we can see, the joy of the NU Bulldogs. Coach, Jero, may mga gusto ba kayong batiin, mga family members, supporters of NU? Go ahead, you guys have the floor.
Unang-una po, papasalamat ako kay Lord. Binabati ko si mama ko, si Maylita po, yung mga kamag-anak ko po, Santiago family, and yung mga ate ko. Tapos, thank you po sa mga coaches, manager po namin, kay Sir Manny, and yung Dreamers Coffee, and may Reynard Dumamoy, tsaka Tebs Peanuts, tsaka SNE 13 daw po.
Kayo po, Coach, may mga gusto po kayong batiin.
Gusto kong batiin lahat ng players dito. Players, come on! Mag-like it!
As you guys will see, these National University Bulldogs go up against the Adamson Soaring Falcons in the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup Season 4 Finals. Mangyayari yan sa June 21. Ako nga pala si Justin Alfonso, joined by Coach Russell Raipon and the National University Bulldogs. Good afternoon, mga kaliga. We'll see you guys again at June 21. We'll be right back.